It's time to bring you up to speed with our top international focus. This morning, U.S. President Donald Trump intensified criticism of Kyiv on Wednesday, saying Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has to be realistic about the war and questioning when Ukraine intends to hold its next elections. Donald Trump's comments followed his separate phone conversations with the leaders of France, Germany and the United Kingdom. Discussions, he said, focused on Ukraine in pretty strong terms. Hours after Trump's remarks, Zelenskyy responded, saying he was ready to hold an election as long as Washington and perhaps Brussels could ensure its security. Zelenskyy was elected in April 2019 with more than 70% of the vote share, but his 5-year term would, under normal circumstances, have expired in the year 2024. However, as Ukrainian constitution bans wartime elections, Zelenskyy continues to remain in power. Police officers appeared close to convincing 97-year-old Katerina Lomova to leave her rundown home in eastern Ukraine, where Russian forces have rained heavy fire from 15 kilometers away. Take a look at that report telling you more about it.
A Ukrainian police vehicle drives carefully down a road in the embattled Donetsk region. These officers are part of a crew from the White Angel evacuation group, collecting remaining residents to relocate away from the front lines. They have to watch both the road and the skies. The main road here is shrouded in netting to defend against Russian drones, the leading cause of death in frontline areas. Armed with shotguns and beeping drone monitoring devices, the White Angel crew drove around the Dobropila area searching for potential evacuees. 4 years into the war, Russia is demanding Ukraine surrender this industrialized swath of land before Moscow stops fighting, something which Kyiv has rejected. While most residents have fled these now ruined villages and towns, a few remain, often because they are sick, elderly, or have no family or means to live elsewhere. 56-year-old Olena Kotova told officers there was a plane flying over the next street, a missile. Some residents appeared eager to leave the area as Russian forces pushed to capture the rest of Ukraine's Donetsk region. But not all. Officers tried to convince 97-year-old Katerina Lomova to leave with them. She says, maybe another time. Not now. I don't want to leave my home. The officer replies, it's not a home anymore. In the end, despite pleas from her family who arranged the evacuation, she stayed behind as Moscow's troops grind closer on the battlefield.
The U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday, a move that raised oil prices and is likely to further inflame tensions between Washington and Caracas. Take a look at our next report to tell you more about it.
President Donald Trump said on Wednesday the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. The move raised oil prices and is likely to further inflame tensions between Washington and Caracas.
As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening.
Attorney General Pam Bondi said the tanker had been used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. The seizure could signal new and intensifying efforts to go after Venezuela's oil, the country's main source of revenue. The Venezuelan government did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Trump has ordered a massive U.S. military buildup in the region, including an aircraft carrier, fighter jets, and tens of thousands of troops. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has alleged that the U.S. military buildup is aimed at overthrowing him and gaining control of the OPEC nation's vast oil reserves. Since early September, the Trump administration has carried out more than 20 strikes against suspected drug vessels in the Caribbean and Pacific, killing more than 80 people. Experts say the strikes may be illegal, since there has been little to no proof made public that the boats are carrying drugs, or that it was necessary to blow them out of the water rather than stop them, seize their cargo, and question those on board.
U.S. President Donald Trump tried to reassure Americans that the U.S. economy was healthy at a campaign-style rally on Tuesday as Republicans braced for a tough fight to hold control of Congress in next year's midterm elections.
Donald Trump tried to reassure Americans that the economy was healthy at a campaign-style rally on Tuesday. The U.S. president argued that his economic policies, including the widespread tariffs on imports, are creating jobs and attracting increased investment into the U.S.
Our economy is unbelievable. There's never been anything. But the Democrats go out, prices are too high. Yeah, they're too high because they caused them to be too high. But now they're coming down. One of the most important ways we're defeating inflation is by unleashing American energy, including oil, gas, and clean, beautiful coal right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Trump was quick to blame former President Joe Biden for high prices on goods, even though he has now been in office for almost a year.
They gave you the highest inflation in history, and we're bringing those prices down rapidly. Lower prices, bigger paychecks. You're getting lower prices, bigger paychecks. We're getting inflation. We're crushing it. And you're getting much higher wages. I mean, the only thing that's really going up big, it's called the stock market and your 401ks.
The rally comes as Republicans brace for a tough fight to hold control of Congress in next year's midterm elections. Trump's approval rating edged up to 41% in a new Reuters Ipsos poll as he rolled back some tariffs on food imports and spoke more about bringing down prices. But the approval rating on his performance on the cost of living was just 31%. Inflation in September rose to 3% year-on-year, the highest since January and more than at any time during Trump's first term. Trump was quick to point to the declines in egg and gasoline prices from recent peaks, but prices are rising for other items including beef, bananas, and coffee, according to recent government data.
United States President Donald Trump on Wednesday launched the Gold Card visa, which allows foreign nationals to obtain permanent resident status by donating $1 million to the U.S. Treasury. The card, in fact, also allows companies to retain foreign talent through corporate sponsorship by buying a card for them. The site of the Gold Card has been now made live, with White House now taking online applications for the new path to citizenship in their country. The card, in fact, also allows companies to retain foreign talent through corporate sponsorship by buying a card. The site of the Gold Card, like I said, has now been made live. It further says that on completion of the vetting process, the applicant would have to donate a $1 million gift, which would be seen as evidence that the individual will substantially benefit the United States. This has been launched on Wednesday by Donald Trump himself. That's the post that he made while doing the announcement. This is the Gold Card visa that he has to offer to all the foreign nationals. Now they can obtain permanent resident status in the United States by donating $1 million to the U.S. Treasury. It allows companies to also retain foreign talent through corporate sponsorship by buying this particular Gold Card. The site to register for an application has now been made live. The White House itself is taking online applications for the new path to citizenship. This will be the Gold Card that you get hold of if you donate $1 million to the U.S. Treasury in order to get your citizenship. In case you are going for work and you're planning to settle down there, your company can also provide you sponsorship, the corporate sponsorship.
Very excitingly for me and for the country, we've just launched the Trump Gold Card. It was about 30 minutes from now. The site goes up, and all funds go to the United States government. It could be a tremendous amount of money. It'll also be able to have people like this keep, as an example, just one example, there are a lot of examples, people just buying them. It's somewhat like a green card, but with big advantages over a green card. And companies are going to be able to go to the Wharton School of Finance, the Stern Business School, Harvard, MIT, wherever you may get your students, any school, and you're able to buy a card and keep that person in the United States, actually, so there's certainty, because I've heard from Tim Cook of Apple, and I've heard from a lot of people, some of the people at this table, that essentially in the United States you can't keep the student. You can't hire people from the best colleges because you don't know whether or not you can keep the person. They come and have the people get out, they throw the person out of the country, you graduate #1 from your college, and there's no way of guaranteeing, I guess you could say, there's no way of guaranteeing that they're able to stay in the country. Howard, maybe you'll give a little description of the Trump Gold Card, please.